this session, we will review wizards, found on the bottom left corner of the Club System screen. Wizards are different sections of reporting that you can run through Club Systems, starting with the first icon, which is called Main Reports Wizard. As you'll notice, these reporting sections are titled, so you know exactly what type of a report you can find in each section. Account reports are reports that can be ran off of the customer or member information itself, such as if you would like a listing of accounts by a specific member type, if you would like a report of accounts that joined during a specific date period. If you would like to see who's past due in your system, you can run a past due listing. That would allow you to select different sorts of aging to see how past due these members are. And there's several other reports in this section that you can run based off of your customer information. The second section is called Transaction Reports. And these are reports that you can run off of the actual transactions that are automatically processed for your members. There's a few in here that are quite useful to use each time your members are billed. The first one is the pre-bill payment listing. Your pre-bill payment listing can be processed and ran before any upcoming billing period. And that's why it's called pre-bill, because this is typically ran prior to the billing actually taking place. Clicking on pre-bill and hitting go beneath the column, here you're able to look up a future month and cycles that you would like to see who's going to be billing, how much you're looking to collect for that upcoming draft cycle. Keep in mind that these pre-bill reports can only be run prior to any one of your upcoming drafts. Once the billing actually takes place, you will no longer be able to come and pull the pre-bill for that billing period. So if this is information that you'll know you'll like to be able to refer back to after the billing has actually taken place, then you might want to print off the reports and keep them for your records. So once the month and billing cycle have been selected that you would like to view, you would go ahead and run the report. The first screen that populates is a pre-bill summary. So this is just a summary of what's to be drafted for the upcoming billing period. So it will break it out for you as far as total bank EFT, so the amount in bank account transactions that is going to be collected for that upcoming draft. You'll also have a total for your CC EFT, which are the total credit cards that are going to be drafted for that upcoming billing cycle, as well as a total direct bill amount. And this would be for any members that are set up on statement billing that will also be billed for that upcoming billing period. Feel free to print off this page of the summary, and then you can also click on View Report for a more detailed version of these amounts. When you click View Report, the report will be broken up by payment method. So the first section we see are all the monthly bill accounts, which are all the statement billing members. So you'll be able to see in detail who these members are, along with the amounts that they are going to be billed. As we scroll down further, we see the credit card accounts that are due to be billed for this upcoming billing period, and as well as any bank accounts that are due to be billed for the upcoming billing period. Once the billing has actually gone through and it has been processed, if you would like an overview of what that draft looked like, you can run the report that's directly after the pre-bill, which is called auto bill payment listing. Pre-bill is ran prior to the billing, auto bill is ran after the billing has actually taken place. So clicking on auto bill payment listing and clicking go, all of your drafts will be listed for you in this particular section, where you can go and select which particular billing period you want to pull up. So whether it was the one that just currently happened or one that has happened in the past, you can certainly select which report you would like to view and then run that report. This report is going to tell you specifically which of your members billed for that billing period on a credit card and list those names and account numbers, which of your members billed on a bank account and a customer's name and their account number. However, it's not going to tell you particulars of why the person declined. It will simply tell you, as far as your credit card members are concerned, which ones declined and which ones went through. And you can always refer to your credit card decline report for specifics as to exactly why those credit card members weren't able to process for this current billing period. So auto bill, after each one of your billing cycles go through, and these reports can be referred to at any time. There is a section called attendance reports where you can go and process different reports based on your members' attendance and checking in. Scrolling down, we have a section called returns and settlement. So this is where you would refer to look at the specific reasons why people declined. So there is a report for bank EFT returns specifically. There is one for credit card declines as well. Running these reports for your billing period, whatever date range you'd like to set here, it would show you all the declines that came back for that particular period and show you the reasons why those transactions did not go through. Some of the information that you'll be able to view on this particular decline report is going to be the customer's name and account number in the system, the amount that was originally attempted for this billing period, when it returned will be the RTN or return date. It will show the credit card number that was attempted, the credit card expiration date for that card, and then the reason why the card returned, whether it was for insufficient funds, etc. You will have the option to resubmit some of these payments. You can resubmit them from your facility to have them reran basically through your point of sale. But you can also contact Club Systems for more information on how to have these automatically resubmitted for you. So please feel free to contact Club Systems customer service if you would like more information on how to have these particular transactions automatically resubmitted for you. You'll have the contact phone number for the person here if you would like to utilize this list for some sort of in-house collections, if one of your employees is going to be contacting these members to see if these accounts can get cleared up. And then finally, you'll have a balance column, which is going to be a grand total balance of what's showing as being owing on the customer's account of today, as of today. Keep in mind that your amount column is simply going to show the amount that declined for this particular draft, but your balance column is going to give you a grand total of the amount that's due today, including any return fees or any prior balances that were on the member's account will all be included in this balance column. There are additional reports such as Bank ACH draft listing, which is going to show you a specific report for any given billing period of who specifically was drafted on a bank account. The same will be for credit card draft listing for any specific billing period who was specifically drafted on a credit card. You also have something in here whereas managers or general managers who may be in charge of viewing the settlement, the outcome of the draft, and what was actually deposited to the account for the facility, your settlement report will give you that information. After each draft that takes place, you will be able to refer to this section and view your settlement for that given billing period. It will show you what was deposited to you from the bank accounts that were collected, what was deposited to you for the credit cards that was collected, and as well as any Club Systems fees that may have been applied as well. There is a section called Employee Reports where you can come into the section and run various reports based off employee information, such as commissions, if the employees are set up to receive commissions. There are other particular reports like account changes by employee. If you're needing to review what a particular employee has been updating or changing on member accounts, you can review a report such as that as well. Demographics and statistics is where you can go and pull some of the more miscellaneous reports that are available, but one in particular to point out is this first one called Dashboard Report. This is a great report to review on a monthly basis. Clicking on Dashboard and hitting Go at the bottom, you can select any previous month in year that you would like to review. And for example, let's just select April of 2016 and run that report. This report is going to touch on a lot of different areas across the board pertaining to your facility. So starting at the top, it will break down new account stats. So new accounts that have been inputted into your system, it's going to show you, how many monthly bank drafts were put in, how many credit cards were put in with their value, as well as cancellation stats. If you have gone in and hit cancel member on any of your member accounts, you're going to be able to see those listed here as well. It's going to give you a section specifically for your EFT draft summary. So all of your billing cycles that process for the month will be broken out here. It's going to show you the number attempted for bank accounts and credit cards, any declines that came back from those, and giving you a net total of what was collected for each one of your billing cycles that take place during the month. It will specifically break out the declines in its own little section again off to the side here under bank returns and credit card declines. You'll be able to see what those were in this section. It will also give us a POS summary. So as far as transactions that were processed through your point of sale, we'll be able to see what that looked like for the month of April. Point of sale department totals. As far as the transactions that are ran through the point of sale and for sales of various items, it will show you per sales department what was sold, how many items were sold from that department, and the value of those items. And at the very bottom, our last two sections are check-in stats. So you're going to be able to see what your check-ins look like for the month that you selected, and as well as any prospect or prospective members that you've put in the system. You'll be able to see how many of those were inputted for the month that you selected. So this is a great little report to use on a regular basis because it touches on various areas of the business. Finally, under export files, there's a couple of reports here that are more customizable. You have Custom Export Writer and Query Writer. Both of these reports allow you to kind of pick and choose the information that you would like to view. Starting with Query Writer here, just taking a brief look at this, you see where it gives you several checkboxes where you can kind of just pinpoint the information that you would like to view. Maybe you would just simply like a list of people's names and email addresses, and that's all you need the report to show you. Well, you can kind of come in here and specify that you would like to see. You don't want to see show linked accounts. We do not want to see linked accounts, so we would uncheck that box. But for all of our primary members, all of our main accounts, I would like to see the first name, the last name, the email address. Maybe you'd like to see what membership type they are. You can pinpoint what information you would like to view. As you scroll down a little bit further, we have two white columns where you can further even specify the information that you want to pull on the report. Maybe I want first names and last names and email addresses and membership types of my members that are active in the system, or maybe for my members that expire during a certain time period in the system. So you can really customize this report and have it pull up the information that you're needing. Now for these reports, these will be pulled up via Excel spreadsheet. So from your Excel spreadsheet, you can even further customize it and adjust the columns and make it look just the way you want it. So these are great little reports that we have built into the software that you're able to use at any time to maybe pull up a more customized, a more specific report for the data that you would like to view on that report. And that again was found at the very bottom under Export Files. Our next section is called POS Reports Wizard, and this is specifically for point of sale reports. So clicking on this, we'll notice that this too is broken up into different sections. So our first section is called Inventory Reports. These are reports that you can run off of your inventory itself, such as a low stock listing, inventory received, etc. This is a section for inventory reports pertaining to the actual inventory itself. The next section is called Inventory Sold Reports. And just like the title tells us there, this is more so on sales of the inventory. So you have an all item sales listing. This would show you all items that have been sold for a specific date range. But the great thing about this report is that it will separate the sales by sales department. So if you have your inventory items categorized into their proper sales departments, you'll be able to run this particular all item sales listing report and see how from my front desk category, these are all the sales made within that department. From my snack bar category, these are the sales that were made within that department. So that's a useful report for that sort of information. And maybe you want to focus on a specific employee and what their sales have been. You have single employee sales listing. Or maybe for your department of, say, memberships, if you've created a sales department called memberships or personal training, you want to see what sort of sales have been made within that category. You do also have single department sales listings. So there's a great amount of reports here that you can run on sales that will show you specifics on how the sales are going within, say, that department or on that item. Drawer reports is our next section, and these reports are for the register itself. So it's showing you a listing of transactions that were rang up through the particular point of sale system. So looking at the first one as an example, point of sale detail, this is a great report to reference to whether you want to look at this on a daily basis or a weekly basis. You can set any date range that you would like to view here for sales made. And as you set your date range, you can even specify what payment type. Like if you just want to focus on your credit card transactions that were processed during that date period, or just your cash transactions, you can specify which transactions you would like to view, or you can just leave it as show all. And then you can specify if you want the detailed version or just the summarized version. So I'm going to leave it set to detail and go ahead and run that. And we'll see that this is definitely giving us a detailed listing of all the transactions that were processed during the date period that I specified. So we're going to notice that it gives us the information as far as what was sold. In blue, toward the left of each transaction, you're going to notice that you have the receipt number, and you can actually click on the receipt number. This is where you can also reprint a receipt if necessary. But we'll see exactly how these were paid for under our payment method fields. You can see if they were paid cash, check, or credit card, or one of the other payment methods that we have. And if the transactions are being attached to the member accounts by noting the member number each time a transaction is rung up, you see where the member name is going to show for you on the transaction. So we'll see who exactly the transaction was for on the right side here. You will also notice that there is a void option on the right of each transaction. Keep in mind that you can come in and void receipts, but when you click void, all that's going to do for you, especially when it pertains to your cash and check transactions, it will void the receipt in the sense that that amount will be deducted from that category's total at the end of the day. It will go remove the receipt from the person's transaction history, so that does get removed from there. It does not disappear from your point of sale report, so it will still remain on this report. It will just say voided after you click void. And it's very important to remember that you cannot void a credit card transaction simply by just clicking the word void. All that will do for any credit card transaction is simply delete and remove what we can physically see. So it's going to delete the receipt from the customer's transaction history. It will even deduct that amount from your end-of-day credit card totals. However, this will not stop the credit card from processing. So it's very important to keep that in mind. In addition to our wizard section, there's several other types of reports that you can run through the system, not only just the reports that give you the data in detail, you can definitely come in and process graphs and charts based on different information, so definitely feel free to use that. For some of these items that you see here, if you'd like to run a graph or a chart through the system, you certainly can do that. There's some additional icons in here, such as a billing statement wizard, that you can always contact us about for further instruction on how to use it. But the system is definitely capable of generating statements for your members on a monthly basis. If you do have statement members that you either mail those statements out to them yourselves, or you want to have club systems produce those statements and email them for you, either way, there's capability for doing both through our system. Email Wizard is another great one that we have in this section. This is going to allow you to send out a one-time email blast to your members for one of these different reasons. This is a one-time email blast, so it will just send it out the one time that you send it, and it will not go out again until you go back in and send it again. So you have various options for doing that. And it just involves a little bit of setup, and then once you have your template loaded up in that section, you can go in and send these emails out monthly or however often you wish to send them out. So there's some great ones in here, like an email that would go out to all active member accounts. Maybe you want to focus on a specific member type and send them an email. Maybe for your accounts past due, you want to send them a friendly reminder that they have a balance that's owing. There's all sorts of emails that you can send from this particular section. You are going to notice that there's an area called Classic Reports and Classic POS Reports. And the information in Classic Reports and Main Reports are basically the same, as well as your POS Reports and Classic POS Reports. You can pull the same information from both of these sections. They kind of run parallel to one another. It's just that our Classic Reports section is what we originally started out with, and as time has gone along, we have made updates and improvements to our reporting section, and that's where these two come in. These are the most recent reporting styles that we have within the system. That does conclude our review over the Wizard section. Thank you.